Hey there. Ready to jump into the world of Indian tech stocks?
Always.
Today, we're taking a deep dive into the Aditya Birla Sun Life Digital India Fund.
Decoding India's own Silicon Valley.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And to guide us on this journey, we have this really interesting report
Oh, yeah.
by SOS Finwell.
They've done a great job, actually, of putting together, kind of a roadmap.
So before we get into the nitty-gritty of expense ratios and
Yeah.
portfolio holdings,
Hmm.
let's talk a little bit about SOS Finwell. Who are they?
Right.
Why should we listen to them?
Okay, so SOS Finwell is really all about making financial wellness accessible.
Okay.
It can be kind of intimidating sometimes
Definitely.
to think about investing, especially when you're not really sure,
Yeah.
what a particular fund is all about or
Right.
how it works or what the risks are. So they really want to kind of break all that down.
Got it.
Make it accessible to everyone.
So like the friend who explains things in plain English and doesn't make you feel like dumb.
Yes. That's it. No jargon, no intimidation.
I like them already.
Right.
So this fund is labeled as an equity sectoral fund,
It is.
which essentially means it's focused on a very particular part of the market. In this case, we're talking about Indian technology,
Exactly.
which for people who may not know is actually a huge
Yeah.
sector in India right now.
Yeah, no, it's booming. It's absolutely booming. And this fund is really looking at those companies that are kind of fueling this digital revolution in India.
Okay.
So we're talking IT, we're talking telecoms, we're talking all things digital.
So it's kind of like a curated basket of stocks from these
Exactly.
really exciting and frankly, really rapidly growing sectors.
Yes.
So that brings us to I think, what everyone wants to know, which is
Yeah.
how has this fund actually performed?
Right.
Like, show me the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So over the past 3 years, this fund has seen a CAGR, which
Yeah.
is a compound annual growth rate
Okay.
of 23%.
23%.
Yes.
So for someone who's maybe not a math whiz,
Right.
that means that if I invested, say, 103 years ago, what would it be now?
You'd be sitting pretty with about 177 today.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
That's significant growth.
it is significant growth. Yeah.
But, we always have to talk about
Yeah.
the flip side, which is
Right.
higher returns typically come with higher risk.
Of course, you're absolutely right. Yeah. The report does actually categorize this fund as having a high risk profile,
Okay.
which isn't unusual for sectoral funds, by the way.
Okay.
But this is an interesting point. It also boasts a Sharpe ratio of 0.74.
Okay, Sharpe Bay ratio.
Yes.
Explain that to me like I'm
Okay.
okay,
5 years old.
5 years old. Okay.
Okay.
So the Sharpe ratio is basically a way of measuring how well the returns on the fund compensate for the risks that you're taking.
Right. So in this case, a ratio of 0.74 tells us that, yes, there are risks involved, but the returns have actually been quite favorable, compared to those risks. A higher ratio generally indicates, better risk-adjusted performance.
Interesting. So who are the people making these decisions, these tech investments?
So that would be Kunal Sangoy and Taval Joshi.
Yeah.
They are the fund managers.
Okay.
And together, they bring over 15 years of experience in the tech world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So these aren't just, people crunching numbers. They actually understand the industry.
Got it.
They understand the nuances of the market.
So they've got their fingers on the pulse.
They do. They absolutely do.
So they're like the kind of the team captains,
Yeah.
making sure that, everyone's playing their position right.
Yeah,
But who are they betting on?
right.
Like, what does this portfolio actually look like?
So when you look at the breakdown, 74% of their portfolio is allocated to IT services.
Okay.
And then another 9% is in telecom.
Okay. And, these aren't small players. Right. We're talking big names.
No.
We're talking companies like Infosys,
Mm-hmm.
Tata Consultancy Services, Bharti Airtel. They're really betting on these heavy hitters.
Wow. So like the all-star team?
Exactly. The all-star team of Indian tech.
I like it. But okay, let's talk about,
Yeah.
the less glamorous side
Okay.
of investing, which is fees.
Right.
What's the expense ratio on this fund?
Yeah. That's important. Even with the best team,
Right.
you got to know what you're paying for it.
Exactly.
So the expense ratio for this fund is 1.61%,
Okay.
which essentially means that,
Mm-hmm.
1.61% of your investment
Yeah.
is going towards, managing the fund.
The cost of having the experts
Exactly.
on your side or
Yeah.
in your corner, so to speak. what if someone decides that this fund isn't right for them and they need to pull out early? Are there penalties for that?
So that's where exit loads come in.
So if you decide to kind of redeem your investment within the first 30 days,
Okay.
there is a 1% exit load.
Okay.
But after that initial period, you're totally in the clear.
Okay.
No extra charges.
Got it. All right. So now let's talk about everybody's least favorite topic.
Oh, boy.
Taxes.
Yes.
What's the deal with this fund?
Nobody can escape them. So short-term gains, which is anything that you've held for less than a year, are taxed at 15%.
Okay.
But if you're playing the long game here,
Right.
anything you hold for over a year, those are long-term gains. Those get a little bit of a break. They're only taxed at 10% for any amount that's above 1 lakh, which is,
Okay.
a night out bonus.
Right. So hold on to it for a little bit longer and you might get a little bit of
Exactly.
It's a tax advantage.
Yeah.
Now, this all sounds really promising, but who is this fund really right for?
Right. That is the million rupee question, isn't it?
It is. It is.
So this fund is a good fit for someone who is comfortable with, higher risk,
Okay. Yeah.
who's excited about the potential of India's tech scene,
Right.
and who's really looking to invest for the long haul.
Okay.
So we're talking at least 3 to 5 years here.
Got it. Got it.
This is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
This is about...
This is long game.
It is. It's about participating in India's long-term growth story.
Right. Don't bet your chai money on this one.
Exactly.
But for those who have,
right.
that longer time horizon in mind and are a little bit more comfortable with, those ups and downs, this could be a really, solid option.
It could be.
I mean, it sounds like from what I'm hearing, you're really investing in the future of India's digital landscape.
You are, yeah.
Which is a pretty exciting place to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, it's a fast-growing space for sure.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, like, it feels very much like unknown territory,
Right.
We've heard of,
Yeah.
these big Indian companies.
Right.
But to actually kind of like wrap our heads around what that means in terms of investment, I think can be a little...
It can be very murky.
Murky, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for our listeners who are maybe thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but I need to like dig in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Where can they go to find out more information?
So SOS, Fin, well, they have a ton of great resources on their website.
Okay.
And they really do a fantastic job of, like we said, breaking down these complex financial concepts into digestible pieces so you can actually make an informed decision about your money.
Awesome. Awesome. So I guess to wrap things up, if you're someone who's maybe intrigued by this idea of kind of, being a part of India's tech scene and you're comfortable with a little bit of, risk in your portfolio.
Of course.
This is something that's,
definitely worth looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, big thank you to SOS Finwell.
Yes.
For providing all these great insights. Their report really helped us kind of paint a clear picture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Of this very specific and interesting investment opportunity.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job of demystifying it.
They did.
Which is what they do.
It's their mission.
Yeah.
And remember, everyone, mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. So please read all scheme-related documents carefully before investing.
Always a good reminder.
Always. Always. All right, folks, that's it for this deep dive into the Aditya Birla Sun Life Digital India Fund. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world of investing.